All right, everybody. How's everybody doing? What's going on? Y'all give me 1 second. It's like every time I come to the radio show, I'm up here tearing stuff up. How's everybody doing? How you doing, guys? Listen, I am so excited to be with you on this afternoon. Welcome to Speak Out Loud Radio on Fire 716 Radio. It's wonderful to be with you this afternoon. Listen. I need you guys to do me a huge favor before we get into today's topic. I need you to go download the Fire 716 app in your app store or Android. Listen, you do not, and I repeat, you do not want to miss this app. It is fiery. It's got great music. It got great content. We're adding content every day. And that's no lie. We're adding content every single day. I'm telling you, you do not want to miss it. And I'm telling you, 2023, no exaggeration, is going to be fire. So with that, let's go and get into today's topic. And all my social media platforms, I hope that you guys are doing well. You're being safe. Your families are safe. And you're feeling blessed. Now, today we're going to talk about moving forward. Moving forward is it's not easy, y'all. It's not easy whatsoever. No matter how you look at it, it's never easy to move forward in your life. If I could be transparent for just a few moments, um, as you know, many of you know, I lost my sister toward the end of August not last year, Lord Jesus, this year. And it's been one of the most difficult and still difficult moments of my life and my whole family's life because she was so instrumental in my upbringing. She helped raise me. Not only was she my big sister, but she was like a second mother to me. So this is something that I have to learn how to move forward. When I say it's been difficult, I can't even put into words how difficult it is because depression wants to set in. And depression wants me to just sit there and sob and cry. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Do I have tears? Yes, I'm not ashamed to say that. It's because of who my sister, how big she was in my life. So when you care about somebody, you're gonna have tears. When you have a good relationship with a sibling, or if it's a parent, or if it's a loved one, a cousin, a best friend, they're no longer here on this earth. It is very difficult to deal with, right? Nobody, they got books on grief, they got articles on grief, but nobody can tell you how to grieve. Now, we're not focusing so much on uh, the grief, but it is a part of life because it happens. Because let's be honest, we're not going to be on this earth forever. So we're going to always deal with some kind of grief. And maybe you haven't lost a loved one to sickness or they're no longer here. You could be dealing with so many things. Maybe you just broke up with your girlfriend. Maybe you broke up with your boyfriend. Maybe you got family issues. Maybe you and your mom are not getting along. You haven't been getting along for years. Maybe it's your father. Maybe it's a sibling. Maybe it's your best friend and they were there and you guys were close and you kind of grew separately. Everybody deals with kind of some grief or loss or disappointment in their lives. But one of the biggest things that I want to say to you, even if you made a mistake, maybe you made a couple bad decisions and you just wasn't aware. Maybe you were young. I don't even say dumb, but you were ignorant to certain things. Ignorant means you just didn't know. Sometimes we hear the word ignorant. Oh, you calling me stupid? No. It's just that you were ignorant to things. You just didn't know. You weren't taught that. So a lot of us deal with those situations and those problems. But I want to let you know that that happened, but it's time to get up. It's time to move forward. And again, it's hard to move forward when you feel like your past has locked you down. I know what it feels like to have my past lock me down. Not only am I dealing with grief, but I'm dealing with my past person. What do I mean by that? The past person that I used to be, how I talked, how I did certain things. When I didn't have the self-esteem that I needed to have, didn't have the motivation that I have now. I didn't have the resilience that I have. Maybe I had it, but I didn't utilize it because I didn't know that I had. Now sometimes you cannot know that you have something and you have it in you. You have the strength, but you don't know how to really explain it. And at that time, I didn't know how to really explain what I had. But now, boldly, I can say I had resilience, I had strength, I had power. And you all, and I'm going to say this just as an extra nugget, you have to absolutely find what not what your niche is in just your business, who you are, and what you have been called and on this earth to do, and do it. Now, what does this have to do with moving forward? It has a lot to do with moving forward because you got to have a destination. You have to have a destiny. So right now I'm reading this book from Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he's talking about, it's not the title of the book, I'm just giving you a little bit about learning how to move forward. He said, destiny is, we all have a destiny, but if we're not finding ways, and I'm just paraphrasing, if we're not finding ways to be destiny seekers, then what kind of seekers are we? What are we? What is our life all about? And that really stuck with me when I was reading this book, and I'm continuously reading this book, and it is showing me, and I'm hoping that this encourages you this afternoon to learn how to move forward in your life. Right? Some we've all made some big mistakes in our lives. Let me just pause there. We all have made some big mistakes in our lives, and some of us are still paying for those mistakes. Some of us are suffering because of the mistakes that we have made in our past. Moving forward is a process. It's a marathon. You ever heard when you run this race called life? It's not a race. It's a marathon. Nobody can tell you how fast or how slow you need to go, but you need to have some kind of momentum because you cannot stay where you are. Hear me clear, everybody. You cannot stay where you are because if you continue to stay where you are, you're going to get stagnant. What is stagnation? You're staying in one place. And if we really think about this for a moment, if you stay in the same place mentally, emotionally, relationally, even spiritually, you're going to start to rot out from the inside out. And I'm not trying to be grotesque, but if you think about it, if you're not growing and you're 20, 30, 40, 50, and you're doing the same thing and there's nothing different about you, there's no change, then you're not even going in a circle. You're absolutely still the same person that you were 20 years ago. That's a bad thing. I know you're like, man, that's so harsh, but sometimes the truth does hurt. If I stayed the same person, the same ideas, the same thoughts that I was when I was in Syracuse, when I lived for 28 years, and I came here and I haven't grown in the last 10 or 11 years, that's bad. There's no change, there's no adjustments. We got to learn how to move forward. Moving forward is gaining enough of strength. I'll say it again. Moving forward is gaining enough of strength from somewhere inside of you and believing in yourself enough, believing in yourself enough to do more for yourself. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. When is the last time you made a decision that changed the trajectory of your life? Let me ask that again. When is the last time you made a conscious decision that changed the pathway, the trajectory of your life? When is the last time you said enough is enough? What I mean by that is, when is the last time you said, this is enough? I'm not going to take how you treat me anymore. I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like this anymore. I'm not going to just be at this dead end job anymore. I'm not going to be in this relationship being abused, physically abused, mentally abused, I'm going to say it, being at this church, mentally abused, spiritually abused. It's time to move forward. This is the last month of 2022. I'm not really big on New Year's resolutions. I have tried to lose at least 60 pounds for the last 3 years. Listen, guys, it has not worked. Have I lost a little bit? Yes, we thank God. But I haven't lost the weight that I want to lose because I was not disciplined. I'll say it again. I was not disciplined. So because I wasn't disciplined, the New Year's resolution was done in March because I wasn't disciplined. So I said to myself, if I really want to move forward and I want to lose this weight, there's a discipline that I can't start in January 1st. Guess what I started? I started yesterday. But has it been easy? No. Have I slipped up a little bit? Yes. And guess what? You're going to slip up a little bit as you're making change, as you're moving forward. You're going to make some the same mistakes in the beginning. Let me make that very clear. In the beginning, you're going to make some mistakes because it's hard, because you're breaking habits. Some of you have some habits that you don't even want nobody else to know because they're not really that good. They're habitual. I was just having a conversation with my wife, and I was telling her the reason why I can't lose the weight, the reason why I can't do a couple other things is because I do it out of habit. I'll go grab that Snickers out of habit. I'll go get those breakfast sandwiches out of habit. But if I take a little bit more time for my health, if I get up a little bit early to make me something to eat that is a little bit more nutritional, you understand what I'm saying? It's habitual. If you are taking more time to really look at yourself and say, you know what, where I am is good, but it's not enough. Yes, be thankful for where you are, but it's not enough. Be grateful for where you are, but it's not enough. There's something that you need more of, and we have to be able to get to that place. You can't keep putting your life and your future on hold. It's not fair to you. And guess who else is not fair to? It's not fair to your spouse. It's not fair to your children, if you have any. It's not fair to the people that you're supposed to be helping, because whoever you're helping them be the best version that they can be. So then it's not really about so much you, it's about being used, right? To get yourself to where you need to be, to help somebody get to where they need to be. That's where it's all about. Even moving to a new city or new state or new destination takes poise. It takes patience, but you got to make a step. But before you try to move into a new house, to a new relationship, you have to make sure mentally, emotionally, going back to those areas, you got to make sure that you're sound. I'll say it again. Think about it. You got to make sure that you're sound in your mind because it takes everything. It takes poise to figure it out. It takes poise to be confident enough to push through. It takes poise to find your own path. It takes poise to stay grounded with your decision. You know, somebody's going to come and tell you that you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that. But you got to know for yourself, it's time to move forward. I can't stay here any longer because the longer that I stay here, I'm not going to be who God has called me to be. I'm not going to be good enough like I should be for my wife. I'm not going to be good enough like I should be for my husband or my family or people that are around me. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take everything you have to move forward. Because if you decide, yeah, I'm moving forward in my life, but you the same people doing the same thing. If you're still in a bond with someone and they got a hold on your mind, they got a hold on your emotions, they got a hold on your thoughts. It's one of the hardest things. I'll be honest. A long time ago, I was in a relationship with this young lady, nice young lady, but we were toxic for one another. Oh boy, we were so toxic. I mean, and we went to church. She went to another church. I went to another church, but we were toxic. Let me put this out here because she loves God. Maybe that doesn't mean that she's for you. I know that's hard to hear, but I'm going to say it again. Even though you go to the same church with somebody and you think she's fine, or sisters, you think he's fine, he might be, and she might well be, right? That doesn't mean that you're meshed together. Some people find themselves in traps, even in church, because we're supposed to we look good together. No, it's more than looking good together. You have to be good together. Anyways, let me get off that topic. I know y'all not ready for that, but you do seriously have to learn how to move forward. Sometimes comfortability can block. It can hold you back and even sabotage your particular next move that you want to make. See, comfortability can ground your ideas, it can ground your goals, it can make you complacent if you're not ready to move forward, right? When you're supposed to, because you can be in a place you should be. We all are in season, different seasons in our lives that we have to figure out or find out how long am I supposed to stay in the season, because some seasons are not just for 3 or 4 months, because there's something that we have to learn from that particular season that's going to help us in the next season. In the next season, there's something that each season that we go in our lives that we learn something, whether it's hard, difficult, but there's going to be some success in that pain, in that hardship, because we're moving forward. Moving forward is never ever going to be easy, but you can do it. You might be afraid, but you can do it. You might be moving by yourself, but you can do it. You know why? I want to ask you a few questions. How much have you meditated on this move? How much have you prayed on this move? How much have you thought about this move? Or is it something that mama wants you to do, but you don't have your heart in it? Is it something that your best friend wants you to do, but you don't have your heart in it? You know it's not what you're supposed to be doing, but you just do it anyways. See, moving forward in that direction is always going to make you end up at a dead end. Because some people can move forward, it might not be their time. Some people can move forward because it's notoriety. You got to do it for the right reasons. Anything that you do in this life and you're making an adjustment in your life or the people that's in your life that you're over, like for me, I can't make any decision for myself. You know why? Because I got two people at home that's going to feel the effects of my decision. So every decision that I make has to be a God move. And I'm only just saying about me, but I'm saying to you, I'm hoping that you guys really get this today, because it is very important to learn how to move forward. Don't be afraid to take that next step to a brand new path. But you got to start now. This is the day that He's made. Not only will you shall rejoice and be glad in it, but you got to move. You see what I did right there? I gave you a little bit of something to encourage you in scripture, but I also gave you a push to move, because it's time to move. You can't keep giving excuses that DMP Speaks, you will never understand. I might not ever understand everything that you go through, because I might not have went through what you went through. But one thing that I can say, one thing for sure, two things for sure. One thing is, I've had my own hardships, and I know what it feels like to do something that is unusual and to move forward. And the second thing is, I know that the next move, the next several moves that I make, not only am my family and myself going to be blessed, but others going to be blessed. You know why? Because it's intentional and it's purposeful. Don't be intimidated by moving forward. And take your eyes off of everybody else and what they're doing. Focus on what you need to do. You got to focus on what you need to do. Listen, I want you to call in. I know I've been talking for a little bit, but I want you to call into the air. I want you to call 716-371-1903. That's 716-371-1903, extension 1. This is Speak Out Loud Radio on Fire 716 Radio. I need you guys to come on air. I need you to get the app on my social media platforms. I need you to share this with someone. Listen, it is so important. I'm going to be transparent again if y'all don't mind. I'm dealing with a 21-year-old, which is my niece. She's trying her hardest to move forward, but it's tough. She's doing pretty good by the help of the Lord, but it's tough. Nobody can tell her how to feel, not even me. And I've told her that many a times. You know, one thing that really encourages me about her is that through pain and tears and confusion and low days, that girl the next day has a smile on her face. Think about that. You're 21 years old, you're trying to find out how life is, and you've been doing life with your mother all this time, and then she's gone. But that girl got a resilience that I ain't never seen in a 21-year-old, not even me, because she pushes herself every single day. She makes adjustments. Maybe that day she don't feel like talking, and I don't pressure her. But she'll send me something funny, or we shared a laugh a day or two ago, and she says, "I miss my mom, but I'm gonna do the best that I can." And I had tears in my eyes. You want to know why? Because she was so pure in what she was saying. Because I know she's gonna do it. And why am I sharing this with you? Why am I being so transparent about this? Because some of you, like I stated in the beginning, are dealing with loss. You're dealing with that person not being here anymore, and it sucks. You're dealing with a job that you don't like, people that might not even like you. You're sitting at the desk and you're pondering, when is my next coming? You're praying to God and saying, well, I love my wife, but we're just not getting along. We're missing each other. It seems like we're going in two paths. What I'm saying to you all is, you might say, well, you're moving forward. Yes, move forward with her. Move forward with him. Do the best. Fight for your marriage. Why am I saying all this? I don't know. Fight for it. It's definitely not easy, but fight for it. Hey, sis, you want that job? You want that career? You want to go back to school? You want to start school? Instead of being on Netflix, instead of being on social media, move forward and look up, how can I get a scholarship? Bro, you want to move forward. You want to make something out of yourself. You want to be positive. Well, put that application in. Instead of you being on the game all day, let's be productive. And I know you could be productive because you got it in you. And I don't even know who you are. You could do this. You gotta just move forward. Don't let no one or anything change your mind. Make up in your mind today. Come hell or high water, as my bishop used to say. I'm gonna move forward. I'm not gonna let. I'm not. You know what? I'm not even gonna let myself, my old self, the way I used to think, the way I used to act, the way I used to look at things, that old person, that familiarity that I'm used to, I'm not even gonna let him back, because that person didn't have confidence, didn't have boldness. Just kind of just went with the breeze. There's no more time for going with the breeze. Life is passing you by. Time waits for no man. I've been taught this from my parents. Time waits for no one. Let's stop wasting time. Let's really be happy. If you really want to be happy, you really want to make 2023 the year of the worker, start now. It's time to move forward. You can do it. And you can have it because you got it in you. Let's go get it, y'all. Thank y'all. That's what I'm talking about. I got a couple more minutes, everybody. I'm been told. I've been told. So listen, call me right now, 716 371 1903, extension 1. Again, 716 371 1903. I need you guys to call on in. We're talking about moving forward. I would love to hear from somebody to let me know, how are you going to move forward? What are some of the things that you're going to do for yourself? How are you going to move forward? That's what it's all about. Moving forward. And I've been on this radio show whew, last couple months, and it's been great. You know why? Because I get to spend time with you guys to encourage you and not only motivate you, but to empower you to make change for your own self. That's where it's going to take to make the change that you need for your own self. Even if you're married and you have kids, there is something internally that you have to do for yourself. And I want you to do it. Right, Frank? I want you to be able to do it. Definitely. Listen, I thank you for your time. Right, Frank? I appreciate it, guys. Let's go get it. Peace. See y'all next week. Peace. You better get some sleep. Fire 716 Radio, Facebook Love, Turn Up Photography, DMP
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Jay Sheree from Big Frank in the Morning. Listen, make sure you lock in the Big Girl Chronicles from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. You don't want to miss this. I'm helping you with your life, your fashion, and your goals. This joint is off the chain, y'all. Make sure you also follow me at Jay Sheree BGC on Facebook. Let's get it. Is it baby? And it's about. Is it baby?